What's up, stream? Today we're gonna do some melee set reviews. It's been a while, but should be fun. These 4 games we're gonna analyze from the Falco's perspective. But yeah, let's get started. In general, for this matchup, I would say not to meme, but Laser against Marvs are so good because so many Marvs default to dashback and so many Falcos. I'm curious to see if this happens, but I will point it out already now and we'll see if it happens. What a lot of Falcos do wrong in this matchup, at low level especially, is that they approach with way too many aerials, get dash dance grabbed, and die for it. Falco is the best character at dealing with dashbacks with Laser. It's honestly amazing. So we'll see. We'll see how Rolly plays around here. Yeah, F Smash at 20, it's like, even if you catch them with bad DI, it's like, you might need like whizzy SDIs in the worst possible fashion to like possibly making it bad. Yeah, Sane is really good with power shields, but even he, like many times if you mix up like laser timings, it's tricky even for him. But yes, he is obviously good at it. But if you make the laser timings very, very obvious every time, that's basically making his job easier. Okay. Oh. Risky. I mean, up tilt was fine there. I would have preferred down there, but I mean, up tilt was still fine, I guess. Check the info below the stream, Brewing. No, he had it. He had it. I guess that was a misclick. But here, yeah, that was like pretty much stock over. He might not have realized he was above 100%, so you get the slower get up. But yeah, that should have used to been like either a backer or down air. If you're down air here, important to keep in mind to like overshoot, send him outwards, or backer, which can be also tech, but then you can be ready as well with like a follow-up F smash. But yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and imagine that it was just a misclick, or not realizing that it was above 100. Yep, that was very risky. That backer did not really serve any purpose either, because he could have, I mean, it was close. But doing this backer and go back on stage, if Marv upbeat, he would have died anyway. Those type of backers, though, I know we are not talking about Falco Fox here, but if Fox is in this height and do a shorten, a side B, then those type of backers, when you go out, can be really good. Because often you see Falcos do like, or Fox for that matter, they do like they're jumping backer on stage, and Fox or Falco shorten and get the ledge. But if they have very high damage, even a weak backer will be enough, where the Fox or Falco gets back to the ledge before the opponent gets sent out. So that type of backer that was just done here can be really good against shortened side Bs if the opponent has high damage. Okay, yeah. A little bit too many random F smashes. Yeah, this is obviously very, like, we don't have sample size to say here, but some players have very hard time to cover rolls. They like never cover rolls. They always like, you know, do pressure on shield, like nair, shine grab, you name it, and never cover rolls. Like, when you play characters that play a lot of like pressure game on shield, it's so important to like try to pick up on your opponent's habits. And some people that play Falco, Fox, Peach, whatever, might be really weak at catching rolls. So that's something I would recommend for all players to like kind of go over their own games and see if it's any like major flaws in their pressure of like, oh, I never cover roll in, I never cover roll out, I always go for shine grab, or, you know, whatever it might be. Damn, yeah, these laser F smashes. I mean, that one worked out, but gotta keep it a little bit low. That's also the thing, right? Like, I always try to apply the mentality, like, even if something works, even if I get something that works, you should always, like, almost ask yourself, would this work this much or this well against a good opponent? Some people, like, they talk about, like, oh, like, I get basically conditioned this work against worse players, but it doesn't work against these amazing players. That's why I always try to teach, or not teach, treat even, like, fairly bad players as, like, pros. I always try to, like, see it as, like, how would this work out against the best players? Basically, like, trying to not condition myself into believing that this is extra good because it works against worse players. I think that's a good mindset, personally. Yeah, gotta be careful with using your double jumps. Yeah, here, like, using your double jump, having no quick escape option here, this is a big no-no. This is a big no-no. Getting stuck without a jump here, it's like you're asking to die. If you want to get to platforms, well, when Marth has invincibility, you like gotta position yourself and time it way better. Now it's basically like, yes, I have nowhere to go and I have no resources to work with. And I mean, he was eating a lot of damage for it. These laser F smashes. I would have been so mad. Oh. Yeah, another thing, like, a lot of, like, spacies can have a tendency of doing is basically approaching at the first given option. Like, sometimes I feel like commentators, sometimes I feel like narratives and stuff skew people's perception of the game, of like, oh, this person always approached, this person always plays campy. Like, players are not as black and white as they're often portrayed. Sure, you have some players that are more defensive, you have players that are more aggressive. That's not what I'm trying to say, that's not the case. I'm just saying that a lot of the times it's very exaggerated. And I feel like that maybe hurts a lot of new players into believing that they should approach every single time. Like, a lot of times with Falco, for example, you basically, like, again, you make it hard to tell for your opponent if you're actually gonna approach or if you're gonna retreat. Something you see from, like, a lot of top Falcos is where they kind of, like, move a little bit, where it looks like they're gonna approach, but then they dash back, for example. Or maybe they, like, dash up with shield, see what you're doing, and then try to act. Always, like, jumping in with, like, a short up aerial or short up laser. It basically tells your opponent that, oh, I should just throw out a move. And, whoa, Falco off stage. I'm not sure if he dies, but that's like, so you can, like, move towards Mar, for example, make it look like, oh, I'm about to approach, and then you, like, dash away, wave dash back. And then if they go in with an aerial, then that can often be your time to strike. Because now he's, like, you know, in a little bit of lag from, like, whiffing his move. And even if you get to shield up in time, that's advantage for Falco. You can see this so much. You can see this so much from, like, all the good Falco players, that it's a lot of baiting too. If you always approach, then you're basically telling your opponent, just throw out, like, a big hitbox early. No, okay. It probably wasn't a mistake then on the first stock. Here, you have invisibility. You have invisibility. No reason to roll here. No reason to roll. I mean, sometimes if you time it very, very good, you can get the F smash. But like in that scenario, it was actually no reason to roll. Falco had invisibility. Marth was already past him. Just, yeah, jump past him and do down air. Maybe do a backer and be ready for Arms attack. And then, you know, cover that preemptively. Like, let's say you do a backer. You jump with Falco, do a backer on Marth. Let's say he Arms attacks. You can F smash preemptively. And if he doesn't Arms attack, you still have edge guard situation. Yeah, that could have been death. Honestly, Falco probably should have died there. Oh, gotta be careful with these F smashes. No. Stop the F smashes. Stop. These laser approaches can honestly often instead be used. Okay, so let's go back a little bit here. If Slippy Launcher lets us. There we go. Had to press 3 times. So this one, if you go a little bit deeper with this laser here, so you're like literally right next to Marth, what can be really good to do as Falco is that you do laser approach and then you shine immediately. Even if your opponent shields, they have no fucking move in the game that can break in between. They have no move that can break in between laser and shine. So if they try to act like out of shield, if they even got their shield up, they are going to get hit by shine. Laser shine is a super, 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 super good approach. So that's something I recommend for Falcos. Laser, and then as you land, you do shine, and then you can start applying your pressure. Not these F smashes. Yeah, this stuff. Sometimes as well, you gotta like weigh the risk versus reward. Yo, D-Deck, thank you for the 24 months with Prime. Thank you so much. Like if this F smash, let's say this F smash hits 50% of the time, then Falco gets a kill when Marth has roughly 120 prior to the hit. Then say he gets punished 50% of the time and he gets grabbed at like 25 at the ledge. It's like he has to hit like 95% of these F smashes at least to make it worth it on average. And he's not going to hit 95% of these F smashes, especially not when they're used to this degree. So that's something to keep in mind too. That F smash was more fine because Marth was already like airborne here, so that one was more fine. That was more fine. I'm not sure if that was part of the decision making due to how many F smashes we have seen, but yeah. Another thing that's really good for Falco in a lot of scenarios, when you fall down, maybe not here, but in general, when you fall down, throwing out lasers can often be very good instead of aerials. Something that a lot of Falcos do here is like, as other characters as well, they fall down and they do like a backer, nair, fair, depending on the character. And people try to like space outside of that and then grab your landing, right? But Falco's laser destroys grab the landing part. So that's something I recommend for Falcos to do a lot when they fall down like this, especially if the opponent is a bit further away, because yeah, the laser destroys the punish landing. Yep, a lot of side beasts as well. Alright, that's game 1. Huh? Okay. This Marth is pretty solid at power shielding though. I will say that. I mean, a lot of this started from Falco basically cornering himself on purpose, and then, yeah, running into moves. That's unfortunate he died, though. Yeah, huge tendency of, like, approaching, like, as quickly as possible. Not much baits. More baits gonna be 100% required. Making it hard to tell when and how you will approach. This is like very, very standard, very, very standard that people approach at any given time. Baits are, yeah, they gotta be applied more. As I said, make it look like you're gonna approach, but you don't. Wave dash back. Sometimes run up shield can be fine. I mean, it depends on the scenario. But jumping it every time is not a good idea. No player does that. No good player does that, I should say. You see, every time. Okay, that was actually the first, like, dash dances. Sadly, didn't, like, lead to anything this time, but... Yeah, the edge guards against Marths needs work. Wait, what? Need works for sure. One good thing that can be against Marth as well is to do, like, the jump and, like, backwards to, like, get behind Marth's sword and then re-grab the ledge. You'll see this, like, with many characters. Fox, Falco. Like, it's a good concept. With Sheik, people do different tech. Doesn't really matter here, but... yeah. Yeah, it can be really good to, like, yeah, jump behind Marth's sword and re-grab the ledge. Yep. Approach immediately again. No, not F smashes. Can't spam kill moves. The F smashes and approaching immediately every time is, like, probably the two biggest flaws so far. Yeah, also with lasers, like, mixing up timings for the laser would be important, since this Marth actually, like, power shields a lot. Yeah, I mean, I would say for this Falco, yeah, a lot of it is that it's basically, like, yeah, approaching at any, like, given time. So it's like, if I played against a Falco that played like this, I would just make sure to, like, stuff out their approach with, like, a big move. Or if they approach with aerials and never with lasers, I would just keep dash dance and grab their landings, and I would never have to worry because I have nothing to be afraid of. The reason why some players can approach quite a lot is because they still don't make it obvious when they're gonna approach. Like, if I played against an aggressive player, sure, I might know that likely they're going to approach more than this player or that player, but it's still like I don't know when exactly they are going to approach. I don't know how they are going to approach, and that's what makes it tricky. It's not the fact that they are approaching that is, like, the crazy part, or the fact that they play defensive. It's, like, when and how they mix it up. Earlier, Falco came down with a downer. Marth dance grabbed. Could he have just landed with laser instead? Yeah, that's very, very good with Falco. I think we talked a little bit about that earlier. Like, when Falco comes down from, like, the air, like, instead of coming down with, like, an aerial, for example, for Falco, it's good to come down with laser often. Because it destroys people trying to, like, catch landings. Sometimes you have Sheik players do that with needles. It's not as good, but it's still good. No, that should have been a shine. Yeah, that was a big opening. Yeah, like more mix-ups with the laser. I mean, this is not like your standard Marth, I guess. Like, most Marths don't power shield this much. I'm not sure if... I don't think this is necessarily tournament games. I think this might just be friendlies. SSBM. I think these might just be friendlies. I'm not sure. But I'll guess so. Yeah, I mean that was good. That actually can like beat the laser shine thing. Like, when I said a move earlier, not beating the laser shine, I meant like more of like a physical move. But yeah, power shield actually can be good in that scenario. But that's also the thing, like, if people are good at power shielding, a lot of people like overuse it, right? And that can be your time to like just use aerial instead. Like, a lot of people, they get this mindset of like, if they're good at something, they want to use it a lot. And if you deny them that access of doing it as much as they want, that can like really hurt their game plan. So like, if they keep spamming a lot of power shield, yeah, that can be a good time to just do like aerial approach instead, for example. Like, the thing is, like, all these things, it have answers. Like, if you approach with laser in that scenario, you can beat it by that. If I do like an aerial, it can be beaten by that. But the thing is, that applies for the opponent as well, right? It's not like, oh, this approach guarantees success, this defense guarantees success. It's like basically like trying to play your cards as unpredictable and good as possible. That's why you have to like also mix up depending on the opponent. Yep, this is rough. Yeah, I feel like it's very, very common for people playing this game. Like, when they do get hits, they need to spend more time to actually like practice their punishes and analyzing their punishes, what they can do instead. I feel like it's so many times people get hits and they use like very untraditional moves, and it doesn't really lead to much. Like, why going for down throw here? Why was like downer into down throw the option? Yep, gotta be careful. That close to the ledge, dealing with invisibility. Oh, is that connected? Yeah, that was the backer. That's the backer. Marth barely misspaced here, but that could have been dangerous, getting grabbed there. F smash, yeah. I like that fade back though. Here, like when he falls down, The fact that he fades back a little bit actually made the difference for Marth's grab to whiff. So that's also the thing, like, how you weave either forward or backwards, like, it can mess with your opponent's spacing. So that's good. No. Yeah, never any lasers falling down. Here could have been good with laser. Yep, not falling down with laser. Yeah, pillar combos needs work from Rolly. It's been... I feel like we haven't really seen any, like, very clean combos so far. It's more like been stray hits. Like, smaller amounts of damage. Ooh. Wait, what do you mean, video? Wait, what? No! That's like two shines, no damage. I mean, that one was like harder to follow up on, but could have gotten like at least something. Second one, I'm not sure what the plan was. But yeah, pillar combos needs to be worked on for sure. It's important to recognize as well, like what percentage and what move makes the most sense. Like, when the opponent has very, very low damage, it's not like you're going to be able to do like shine downer like 100 times. But yeah. Okay, this one is like actually for the Marth. I know we're gonna analyze this from Falco's perspective, but I think this applies to every character. It just happens to be Marth this time. So when you do combos like here, right? Oh wait, no, it was like slightly earlier. Sorry. Here. So in these type of scenarios, you want to keep your opponent in a combo as long as possible, right? I mean, okay, sometimes you actually finish it early with a DI mix-up, but still, I think you guys understand what I mean. So when you do combo someone with uppers with Marth, for example, could be any character, basically delaying your move to take advantage of the full hit stun is super, super important. And this can be applied with every character. Basically what I mean is, if you do an upper early, way before the hit stun is over, then you basically push Falco higher and higher up. And once you have done like 3 uppers maybe, with like hitting early in the hit stun, they will be high up enough where you can't follow up. Where if you delay the upper, or maybe use a weak upper, you're basically gonna like drag them down. Eventually they're gonna start going up again, right? Because their percentage is so high. But basically by delaying and let them fly down a little bit, or fall down a little bit before you do the upper, you basically delay the process of having them too high up. That's super, super important to like extend your combos. So delay your move often when you can, so they go more down, and then when you hit them, they are not going to be as high up. And when you have done like 3-4 uppers, it's going to be a tremendous difference, and can often like be the difference of getting like 1, 2, or maybe even 3 extra moves. So that's very, very important. And that's why you see like a lot of the best players really delay their hits. So that's like a different layer as well to punish game in melee. That's not even like using the right move. It's also using the right move in the right way with the right timing. Yeah, like these uppers, yeah, like he escaped way earlier. He could have delayed these uppers. There was no need to rush these uppers. Like here, he could have delayed. Or done a weak one. But the fact that he hit uppers so early, Falco escapes there. Yeah, again, that could have been like a weak one, for example. Weak upper into tipper. Could have been that time, for example. But yeah, as I said, like, I think this concept is very important for any character. So that's why I pointed it out. Yeah, getting stuck in movement. No, not to fall down with aerial every time. No. Oh, no jump. No, he had no jump. I mean, I am rooting for Falco, but I also root for good gameplay. Please edge guard. No. I am rooting for Falco, but I don't like to see when massive habits gets rewarded, because I think it encourages people to keep going for them. These F smashes have been a net negative for sure. This time it won the game, but it's been a net negative, so long term it's gonna be bad to keep doing these F smashes. That's why I don't like to see it getting rewarded that time. Growing, I think, for the 14 months. Yeah, I mean, I think, Rolly, I think a lot of it is just that you don't feel comfortable in killing in other ways, so you default to what you know, which is very easy to happen. Like, I think if you get more comfortable with your edge guards, for example, I'm not sure if you have seen the whole one so far, but I think, for example, if you get more comfortable with like your edge guards, you won't feel as much of a need to do these F smashes, because you are gonna kill your opponent earlier in more proper ways, if you want to put it that way. Wait, why is this one not opening up? Huh? Wait, is it because I have to, oops, close that one? Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. No, don't die. I'm not sure what this up B was. Normally what people like to do here is to like go low, jump to ledge. That is quite risky. That is quite risky, but with good spacing you can avoid Marth's down tilt even if he goes for it. That's rough. Okay. Send it back. One bait I think is that is very good against Marth as well, that people don't use enough at like low and mid level, is kind of like jumping towards Marth, make it look like you're about to hit him, and then fall down and punish his aerial. So basically, if you, as Falco here, as Fox, or whatever character you play, if you jump towards him and you actually have no intention of hitting him right away, you jump up towards him, and he does like a fair, he does a down air or whatever, and you fall down, then Marth leaves himself open, and that's when you strike. It's a very good option. I use that a lot with Fox. I think it's like super good with Falco too. So basically you jumping, bait him to use a move, fall down, and when Marth falls down, you can like punish him. So in this scenario, let's say he did a downer, you would fall down, you would be under a platform, and Marth is like around the platform. Edge cancels would be on the table, but like if you time your move properly, you could still sneak in between. Yeah, with shield drops, it's so important to like super delay your aerials. It's like in this scenario, oops, if you're actually gonna attack someone on a platform, shield drop is so common, so you want to delay your aerial as much as possible. And if you have a feeling that you actually might not be able to get your shine out in time, you can actually default to shield their shield drop aerial, and then you try to shield drop. So that's also an idea. So either you get your shine out, preferably in time, you keep pressure up, or if that doesn't happen, you feel like, all right, yeah, like, okay, wait, so you do your aerial, and preferably you have enough time to shine if you delayed your aerial properly. But if you feel like, all right, I didn't delay it enough, and then you can use shield instead, and then you shield drop his move. Catbug, thank you for 2 months. Yeah, what's up, Sundown? How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Like one part also in that like mix-up layer that I was not mentioning. If you do an aerial and then shield on the platform to beat their shield drop, of course you can be shield grabbed. But it's very rare. It's very rare that people shield in those situations. But yeah, I just wanted to point it out that I think it's a good mix-up if you feel like your shine is not going to come out in time. Yeah, that was very risky too, by the ledge there. No F smash. I feel like you, Rolly, you do a jump too much and waste like your double jump. Like here, this was also a very risky scenario. With like a proper ledge dash up tilt, you probably would have been dead here. Because you have no resources to work with. And even if you wouldn't die, you would eat a lot of damage. You should be more careful by the ledge, if you ask me. Yep, that's like another one. That should have been beaten by jump up air from Arf. Like here, you have no resources to work with. You have no resources to work with, and this honestly should have been a kill. Like, you're lucky to be alive there. Yeah, a lot of people have the habit of using their double jump too much. Yeah, getting opened up by a shield drop again. On these up tilts, there's like another thing that I think is underused. You actually got a tech there, but what you can do is to like hold down, tech in place, and buffer shield before the next up tilt. And if they up tilt again, then you can shield drop and punish them. It's a bit tricky, but it is really good. I don't know why it's not used more, but... Ooh. That's unfortunate. In general as well though, since melee is like so movement heavy and execution heavy, I think a lot of people honestly would benefit from solo practice and work on their movement, work on their execution, work on simple combos. I know the DI is not there, but even with no DI, a lot of people wouldn't be able to properly navigate their character enough. So I mean, I used to practice solo practice a lot, and I do think even today it could be used nicely. I mean, especially with like additional resources, because basically playing alone, you give yourself more time to like work on your own stuff. When you play against an opponent, you have so many other things to keep in mind as well. Yep, a lot of the double jump still. No. Oh my god, what's happening? Here, you gotta be fully ready. As soon as you get this downer, you gotta be ready to follow up. So what Falcos tend to do in this scenario is that they fall down with downer here. And if the Marth tech's in place or rolls in or miss tech, your downer will hit. And if they roll away, you still have enough time to apply pressure. That's why you don't, in these scenarios, necessarily have to read what your opponent is doing. A lot of people probably would be like, if you fall down with a downer and get the tech in place, a lot of people would probably be like, oh, what a sick read. But actually, in reality, is that in this scenario, you can cover this option, tech in place, miss tech, or roll in with a downer preemptively. And if one of these options happens, you get a hit. And if they roll away, you still have enough time to apply pressure, sometimes to even get the hit before they can get their shield up. Oh, that was a good up B, actually. Covers everything except the roll to the right, but then eventually covers that as well. But yeah, the initial downer don't. But yeah, you can see that same concept with a lot of like other stuff. Sometimes you see like a fox like short up nair, short up air for like where people land. So if they miss tech in place, you get like the narrow up air. And if they roll in, you still have enough time to dash and like run up grab, run up shine. So yeah, that same concept is applied with other characters too. But yeah, that was the 4 games. I hope it helped out Rolly. If you have any additional questions, feel more than free to ask on Discord.